What's happening, people? Welcome back to the channel. You got myself, Tommy. We got Saeed here. Ade's back. It's been a while, Ade, and then we got Latif here as well. What's happening, boys?
Oh, good.
Good.
All good on this side,
man. What you say? You sad?
Nah, I'm all good on this side, man.
Yeah. All right. Good.
Yeah.
Look, we should be joined by Max shortly. He's having some technical issues. But what I've decided to do today, I decided to get the 5 board members together for United, for us to review the season, discuss what we thought went well, what didn't go well, and go into like the decisions over summer in terms of like players that we need to bring in, and also discuss Michael Carrick really. Hopefully the actual Man United board can watch this and they can realize that we have all the answers for them. So let's see. Let's see what happens over the summer. But it will be good to get everyone's opinion about the season. We only got 1 game left. But yeah, that's it really. That's what I thought I'd get everyone together for. But before we get started, people, if you can please subscribe to the channel. Click the like button, turn on your notification to know whenever we upload. And then comment, man, let us know what your thoughts about Man United season. If you're a United fan, if you're not a United fan, regardless, comment, let us know, man. And we'll see how next season goes, man. So where should we start, boys? Where should we start? Look, what I was going to say is, I'm not sure if everyone agrees, but on the ground scheme of things, is it fair to say we've had a successful season?
Very, very. I think it's very successful.
Yeah.
You don't agree, Saeed?
No. I'm laughing because, I want someone to tell me we haven't had a successful season.
Okay.
Yeah, like from where we've come from, let somebody tell me that I haven't had a successful season, innit?
Yeah, nah. I guess we're all in line then, innit, in terms of us having a successful season. But at the start of the season, it wasn't the case. There was a lot of noise. Despite like the point tally on the table, we weren't too far away from like Champions League football. I think by the time they sacked Amorim, we were still like a couple points away from Champions League football, I believe, at that time. I'm not too sure how far away we were. So it's only right to start with like the Amorim's era in terms of like when at the beginning of the season, what happened with Amorim. Who here wanted him to get sacked at that point? Just be honest. What was your thoughts behind it, Batty?
For me personally, I looked at Amorim. I wanted to give him as much time as possible, really. I thought in spells we were looking decent. Like I could see what we were trying to do and what we were trying to achieve. But I just think that at times, I think it looked a bit overcomplicated. He overcomplicated things a bit. I think not all the players were getting on board. He misprofiled Bruno tremendously. I think he just vacated the midfield a lot of the time, which made us lose a lot of battles in games where I thought we should have picked up points in early on in the season. And because of that, and with the results, I think just overall the results were bad. I'm still somebody who goes 50-50. It has to be 50% performance, 50% the results need to be good as well. And I just think overall just wasn't getting enough results to be able to turn the tide around. And I think, it became a bit toxic at times, especially when the way he spoke out and got the sacking at the end. But yeah, that's where I'll leave it.
Sai, we were touching on this on Sunday about, was it more the result or was it more that the dispute you had with the board? Which one do you reckon it is?
Like the disputes with the board. The thing
do you
is,
think that's what I'm saying? Is it more the dispute or more the result?
I think like it's more the dispute or like more the public nature of it. Like the results, they weren't bad. They weren't great to say, but like we weren't far off Champions League football at that point, right? I think there were some really terrible results in there. I think drawing to Wolves, we dropped points to Burnley as well, if I can remember correctly.
Lost to Everton at home. Yeah.
against
Drew to West Ham? Was he the one playing managing when we drew to West Ham at home as well? I can't remember.
No, I think that was.
We drew to West Ham away. No, that was Carrick. Sorry.
Yeah. But I think there was at least 5 results I remember, like where we actually dropped points, where we thought we should actually be getting points and kind of points like that. And in all honesty, like maybe we'll touch on it later, but I feel like the difference between Carrick and Ruben Amorim's tenure so far is just that little bit of luck. For example, we dropped points to Brentford. Was it 3-2? But yeah, like we conceded 2 silly goals, but then if Bruno scores the penalty, we equalise 2-2, but yet they go and score another goal and take it out of our hands. Whereas in games where Carrick has been in charge, like we've managed to get that goal, we've managed to get the goal and kind of cling on. So I think there's a bit of luck that didn't go his way, that has gone Carrick's way. But when you actually look at it overall, like we weren't too far off Champions League. So yeah, there were some terrible results in there, but I do ultimately think it was the public nature of the dispute he had with the board that got him sacked.
Adam, what's your thoughts on it?
Yeah, I thought it was the issue with the board, in all honesty, because if we're taking a look at previous results, previous form, we weren't in the worst situation that we've been in. If anything, we're better than what we had been previously. But I think it was just the public nature of his outbursts that probably just made them think, let's get rid of this guy.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think it was more the dispute than anything. But now that he's Max, we were just talking about Amorim getting sacked, and he was just obviously at the time I know he's gone again. All right, let's just move on. Yeah, so it was more. Yeah, I think it was more the dispute more than anything. But now that he was obviously when he did get sacked, would we say the turning point of our season was Carrick getting hired, or did you think anything would have changed if Amorim stayed in the job?
I feel like if Amorim stayed, I feel like we're still probably because we don't obviously, but the time just before he got sacked, we had like I think 3 draws. We played Leeds and then Bruno got injured. Just 2 games, one of them, 3 of those draws. So what I'm trying to say is that, and then players were in AFCON. If we all have to remember that. So I feel like if everybody was there, it could have still like we could have still got top 4. Do you know what I mean? Nobody can say, oh, we wouldn't have got top 4 or we would have got top 4. What I'm thinking is that with him, obviously is the interview he gave and what and all that he said. But with him being in there, I still think we would have got top 4.
Cool. And I think that just goes back to what Saeed was saying. I think it was just his outburst really that didn't help him. And like publicly, you can tell what it might not be so much the fans in the stadium, but social media fans were not helping him. Any result that even if we played well, if we didn't win, it was an outburst at every single given moment. And then they started to focus on his lineup, his formation. And I think the reason for that outburst is when they started to interfere with his formation. And this is where I felt like the board went wrong. If you've hired someone knowing how they're going to play, I just don't think it's right personally for me, despite whether you feel like a change is needed. I just don't think it's right for you now asking him to change his formation. Is it me or anyone else have any thoughts on that?
Well, I personally think if you're the manager, you decide what you want to do. Because if you're going to sack me at the end of the day, let me do what I've done to get sacked. Yeah. Like any manager that's in charge, I think it's up to them. You down your sword. So yeah, I think they should have left him to it. And if someone decides to be stubborn and not change, and it's not working out, ultimately it's on them. But I do think the board should leave the manager to do what they're doing.
Playing devil's advocate to that though, like as in if director of football, because apparently there was talk that director of football kind of suggested he plays a different formation, go with 3 in the middle, and I can't remember what game it was, but we ended up winning that game where we changed the formation a little bit, and then he went back to the 3 at the back, right? And especially like as in, I get the rigidness with the system, but like as in games like the Everton game, for example, where we didn't change, where we were playing against 10 men and we still played 3 at the back. Why are we playing 3 at the back? Right? Those were highlighting like as in the need to be adaptable, right? And also like since Carrick's come in, like he's gone to 3 at the back where needed, and it didn't look pretty, but like he's doing what he needs to do to win the games. We can't say that that's what Carrick wants to do. We'll see what Carrick wants to do next season, right? So playing devil's advocate, if you want the results now so that you can get into Champions League, so that you can supply Amorim or the manager with the war chest to go on, get all the players you want, to build a project properly, to field the project properly, I can see why you say to the manager, look, short term, I understand like you don't want to change, but short term, think of the short term so you can play out your long term, innit? Like I don't necessarily agree with it, but there's a lot in football we don't agree with, but I can see why that argument could be made. Like with
I totally agree with you. I think 100% change should have been made, but I also feel the manager should be allowed to do what he's doing. And if it's not working, we'll say thank you, God will bless you, take some cash, boss money home.
Yeah. Now I agree. Like I think I agree with what you're saying. I think that's what's let him down. Him in moments. I think it's just games like the Everton game where the team's gone down to 10 men. There should be an adjustment in the team. You shouldn't feel like you need to play 5 at the back. Obviously, us as fans or football lovers watching that, you should think, if a team down to 10 men, why do you need 5 defenders? And I think those games and those decisions are what was cost him. And he's obviously stubborn to the core. And for whatever reason why he stuck to that 5, only he knows. Do you know what I'm saying? Only he knows. And I feel those are the games and the moments where the director of football, whether it's Jason Wilcox, they're questioning whether. I don't think they're questioning whether he's the right man or not, because I thought like they were backing him, but they just want him to change in those moments. And I don't know, because our stubbornness, he's sticking to it because he's the manager, saying, no, you're not going to tell me what to do or what formation to play. And which he's right, you know what I'm saying? And if you are going to go, you're going to die on your sword, isn't it? That you're going to go that way. But I think you are right, Saeed. And I think those are the key moments that might cause the argument, the dispute between him and like Jason Wilcox or whoever it was.
But to be fair, like I can see, like you're at a big club now, innit? And like, as in at the end of the day, like it's results business, innit? So that's like for him, like as in, I wish he did do that, just like to play the short game, innit? And I understand his points, innit? Like because we still haven't seen a manager come in and change the formation, like play anything but a 4-3-3 and win with this team over the years, isn't it? And that's one of my biggest gripes. These footballers should be able to understand football enough to change formations as and when needed, isn't it? So some of it goes on the player, but like as in, my biggest gripe with him is that you just change a little bit, bend a little bit, so that you can play at the medium to long-term game, innit? But there's what.
I agree with that.
Didn't it? So.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I just think at times he was just so rigid and adamant that this formation was going to work regardless. We just stick to it. No movement, no flexibility, like you lot said. He just wanted to feel like it was going to eventually hit and land on, everyone getting it right. Then the results will come. But then this is the Premier League. You need to be able to switch up at that. Just give us something. And United are all about attacking DNA. So nobody even explained to him that, we've got to be on the front foot in certain games. Just switch it up. We're not going to blame you if you lose the game trying to win it, but it's the fact that you're just sticking with
they will. They say they will blame him, but they will. Let's be honest. Let's be honest. Like, there's games that we played really well, and what the Amorim Aaron taught me more than anything is the fact that people lie and say that they just want to see better football, and will back you. Even when he was playing better football, at moments or the games where we were creating a lot of chances of playing better football, people still weren't happy because the result weren't coming. So I don't really buy into the notion that when fans says, or we'll back you as long as you play better football, you're on the front foot. Because let's be honest, Michael Carrick is not on the front foot every time we play now.
Yeah.
Even when we're at Old Trafford and we're playing like teams like Fulham, Brentford, where they're dominating us. The only reason why he's now a fan favorite is because he's winning games. So results does matter at the end of the day. But if in terms of like the brand of football, I'm not sure whether he's really displayed a brand of football for me to like get excited about. That's my personal view anyway. But yeah, they do. So I think you're wrong about that. They do care, man. The fans, they do care about the result. If the result don't come with it, there's no way they're gonna keep quiet. And that's the problem in this day and age, you know, football. Everyone wants result. Everyone, even if it's not exciting football, as long as you're winning games, everyone's happy with it. Look, let's just move on to like Carrick. At the time of the appointment, Max, what was your thought putting him in an interim position?
Look, almost every United fan or even the board themselves, it was just let's just have someone there to the end of the season. Unless someone's lying to themselves. So I know we're still going to ask about whether they both got it right or wrong. But it was just a thing where we just need somebody there. We've sacked the manager, we need a caretaker, we need some interim manager there. So it's more or less of just let's just have someone there to the end of the season. So well, that's just really it. And then now obviously they're looking at it now. It's done what's expected. Oh, it's done more than expected. So they're thinking of giving him they're gonna give him the job now. But that wasn't obviously in the back of their head. They weren't thinking this was gonna happen. And 99% of United fans will not think this is gonna be like this. It will end up like this. But we've been there with Ole before, so we don't want to. I don't know. Each to their own, but I don't know, man. I just see as they just put him there to see the end of the season. Let us see what happened. So in the world we live now, they feel like they have to give him a chance. Otherwise, they'll be crucified if they bring in somebody else and then they don't deliver. So it was just someone to put there anyway. Really, don't let me make it long. They just wanted to put somebody there, like Carrick. So it wasn't like to say they went for a top draw manager or they feel like this guy is gonna come in and fix things. No. So I don't think 90% of United fans thought that.
Latif, obviously you wanted Amorim to go. Was that the turning point that you wanted? Because obviously you started off very well. Like first two games, City, Arsenal. Is that the turning point you wanted for the season? Do you think that change is the result of where we are right now?
I don't think Carrick would necessarily give us those two performances in the first two games. I thought, wow, the Man City games in particular, I was like, okay, like I never even really expected that. But now when I think about it in hindsight, I think maybe it was just the players, like maybe the shackles being let off the players a little bit with a bit of like Carrick's sort of man management in a way to just say, you know, this is Man City, but let's get up for it kind of thing. And they delivered in that game. And then obviously the Arsenal game, again, they wanted to prove themselves and show, you know, against a big team away, like, you know, this is us. We just, you know, wanted to flex how good we can be. It gave me good signs going into the season. I'm thinking, okay, maybe we can do something. I was still kind of like, I'm not too sure about top four. We're just taking it. But these two games are like obviously a good improvement. But I think it was a good grounding, good foundation for him at the time to be like, okay, Carrick is doing his thing. But I didn't necessarily look at him and say, yeah, he will be looked at as a permanent manager. I was still thinking long-term interim. That was it. Because that was what they promised us at the start, that this guy was going to be an interim, regardless of what he was showing us. I know obviously results and performances can change that, but in my mind, I was still thinking after those two games, interim.
Yeah. And in terms of like, obviously when Carrick took over, in terms of like the general play, was there something that impressed you? I think for me personally, one thing I knew we had before he came in, I knew we had the profile players to be very devastating on a counter attack. And I think that's something that was quite prominent during this time. Our counter, we were very devastating with like the likes of Sesko, Cunha, Bruno, and Bemo with the pace that we had going forward. But in terms of these just general overall play, did he give you? Is there anything that impressed you that you think, oh, maybe we can keep him on permanently, or anything that impressed you that made you think, oh, you know what? In hindsight, it was probably right to sack Cameron.
You know what? If I'm being straight up and honest, I think at the time I can't say I think our football necessarily improved. Like when you're talking about like popping the ball around. But what I did experience for the first couple of games specifically was that I was enjoying our games. Like I was watching our games and saying, I'm actually enjoying this. Whether that is a translation of better football is totally different, because I just saw a lot of attacking output. So the Man City game, we're having chances that in the wildest of dreams, I wouldn't have imagined us having that many chances. In the Arsenal game, it was an exciting game. So immediately, I can't say I actually believe we played better football, especially at the start, but I definitely enjoyed our games more. I think our attacking output was more, basically.
What about you, Si?
Yeah, I didn't really, because I still like the football that we were playing under Amorim. Like, it was just unfortunate that we weren't getting results. I think there were, like as in, I still enjoyed it. So obviously the first two games, like you look at the first two games and we're winning, and we're attacking a lot more, and it kind of reminds us of what we've seen in the past, right? Hitting teams on the counter or whatnot, but yeah, there wasn't much control. Like we did bop around the ball, like as in there were patterns of play, or like times where like as in Kobe, Fernandes, and Casemiro just like literally passing the ball around, like yes, this is what I want to see. So in the Man City game, like as in sometimes you kind of forget that they had like this in them, if you get what I'm saying, like short, sharp passes, getting out of tight corners and stuff like that, and then being able to be expensive on the counter. And yeah, maybe some of that was like kind of them being held by position, but also I kind of go back to what I say, like Pep, for example, he literally manages down to the detail. Yeah, so why can't these players get it? Like, and I'm not saying Amorim's as good as Pep, but like, as in if he's trying to manage players into positions, into if this is a situation, this is what you should be doing. Like, yeah, I just don't understand why the players couldn't get on board with it. So as I said, I didn't really mind Amorim's brand of football, but it was just results for me, innit? And I didn't see, like, apart from the first two games, like you did see the West Ham game after, like as in, and where teams are sitting back and where teams aren't really, because where the game's open for us, that's where we look really good under Carrick, right? Where we have to break teams down, or where the game's a bit slower, then we are getting a bit exposed, or we were getting a bit exposed with some of the games. So yeah, after the first two games, it kind of brought you back down to reality in the sense of like, well, there are still a lot of things to do here. So you couldn't really hang your hat on something to say like this brand of football is going to be more exciting, going to be better to take it forward. Yeah.
I was also going to ask is, we're talking about the brand of football. So I think we mentioned the Arsenal game and the City game. Personally, for me, I don't think it's hard to get the players up for those type of games. If you're having to get a player up for like against City and Arsenal, then maybe they shouldn't be there. And then secondly, when you're going up against a top opponent and we stay quite compact, we're gonna get a lot more spaces than we're playing up against West Ham, as I just alluded to. So there're gonna be spaces. There's times when Bruno will have the ball, you can just look up and you just know, even if you don't see a player, just put that ball into that space, because then the player can run into it. But it's slightly different when you're playing the West Ham teams that are holding a low block and you're having to break them down. I think it was probably West Ham's game, one of the first frustration under Carrick for me, was because we were playing we had all the ball, but we was playing at walking pace. And I didn't understand that. We only play once a week. And these guys were playing at walking pace. If you're playing up against a low block team, you have to move the ball quicker, move it side to side until you eventually break down the team. But we were playing at walking pace. And that's when I start thinking, but obviously, don't get me wrong, it's still early days for him during that time. But then it's the same thing for the majority of the season. So the question I was going to ask is, do you see much different with Carrick, the 4-3-3 that Carrick is playing, for when we got success when Oli played 4-3-3, or when we got success when Ten Hag played 4-3-3? Don't forget, it's not just Oli and Carrick we got successful from playing 4-3-3. Ten Hag also had success in his first season playing 4-3-3. But I still feel, if you look at those 3 seasons, the brand of football we play is still very similar in my eyes. But I'm not sure if it was any different for you guys.
For me, the only thing. Oh, go on.
No, go on. I'll go after you. Go on.
The only thing I'll say, the only differences were as in we're able to get out of tighter spaces better than I have seen in previous years, and it does go to the midfielders that we had playing. If you get what I'm saying, I think Kobe was able to do it, and Casemiro being able to ping a ball as well, and finding Bruno, and Bruno being in number 10, picking up spaces, making it easy for him to for the other two to feed into him. The way we were able to get out of tight spaces, I think, we're better. But in terms of being expansive,
sorry, to cut you off. Is that because of Carrick, or because we got better players that are able to get out of tight spaces?
Yeah, so that is because we got better players. But Carrick is probably telling, because he's a midfielder as well, he's probably giving them a little bit of tips here and there, especially someone like Manu, giving them a bit of tips here and there. If you get what I'm saying, I do feel like he would have done it, but ultimately it is because we have better players than we have had. You're looking at Fred and McTominay versus Casemiro and Manu. Yeah. So yeah, as in that's the only thing that I think was different. And I've kind of said it already, as in we've only been good where we've been playing that 4-3-3, and that's my gripe with some of these players. And yeah, it just goes to show basically.
Go on, Max. What are you gonna say?
Yeah, well, the 4-3-3 under Ten Hag, we were able to get tune out of the players. If you guys remember very well, and we ended up finishing third. There was even a time it was 8 points behind City and all that sort of thing. And then this is my thing with this particular thing now. When the going does get tough, we all remember what happened with Ten Hag. He was all changing stuff and all that kind of thing. I'm kind of thinking that the same might happen under Carrick, but I hope I'm wrong, because I don't want to see a messed up season. Do you know what I mean? But this 4-3-3, we're able to get the tune out of the players under Carrick now, but we don't really have an identity in terms of the way we are playing. There's no consistency to what you're looking at. Say these players, if something was to go wrong, I don't know, because if you watch Areola at Boma, they play the same way all the time. Do you know what I mean? But I would say the 4-3-3 is okay, but I just hope we're able to get more players that can actually they match winners, rather than just also relying on formation working. Because I feel like the way we're able to get all these points is because we have players that are able to get goals, and we have people like Bruno that are able to just get out of jail, get us out of jail at a time where we're not really playing good football. We have played some good football, of course, but that I don't really see an identity. I don't know. Maybe I'm a bit negative, but I just don't. I'm kind of on the fence on this one, because I feel like the 4-3-3 has worked out, but we see how it goes in the future. Hopefully, we can get more match winners, because I feel like Carrick need match winners for him to be surviving.
Yeah, one thing that I will say that is different, though, just to be honest, I don't want to seem as if I think under Ten Hag and Oli, a lot of the goals that we scoring was more individual brilliance, get out of jail goals from maybe Ronaldo under Ten Hag, and then you have Rashford, Bruno. I do feel a lot of our goals this season that are well worked And if you in terms of like from like the build up from the midfield, whether it's a counter attack, or like the interchange between like the front line, I do think they are well worked. Whereas I do feel like we was getting goals out of nowhere under these guys. So I do think that might be the only difference I identify. And as I said, the counter attack, which I've already spoke about before. Is there anything else, Ade, that in terms of like the 4-3-3 between Oli, Ten Hag, and Carrick that may be different?
Oh, to be honest, I think we were as expansive. Just thinking back to Ollie's time, I do feel as if we were as expansive. Like our counter attack was devastating. Yeah. But the big thing is that we don't control games. We don't control games, and I think that's the thing that's going to come out next season as to something whether we'll be able to improve it if we have better players, because it's a flip of a coin, right? We're sat here because we've qualified for Champions League, but easily it could have gone the other way. A lot of these games, an odd goal here or there. So, yeah, it's been expansive, but it reminds me a lot of Ollie's time. But I just feel as if we just created so many chances now, so many chances.
Yeah. And I think you touched the I think you hit the nail on the head there with the fact that we just don't control games, and I think that's where we will struggle. In order for us to take the next step, we have to control games. If you want to compete for title, you have to control games. I didn't like it that I went to Old Trafford for the Brentford game, but Brentford dominated the ball at Old Trafford, bro. Like it's and it was ridiculous. Like we could have easily, as you said, games like that maybe under certain managers where players are unhappy or we were going on a bad run of form, we could have easily lost those kind of games. Then it was a game against Fulham as well. Fulham dominated the ball against us at home. There's a few teams that say again, sorry, sir.
No, that was a 3-2 against Fulham. Like as in, I was gonna say, like, they
dominated the ball at home. And this is not even like away performances. This is at Old Trafford where we were dominated, and how we can't hold on to the ball and decide to build up from the back is just not good enough. And in order for me personally, in order for us to take the next step, we have to start controlling football games, and whether that starts with like buying better quality midfielders, which we'll go on and talk about shortly. But he's got to start somewhere, and then next season he's going to go up against a lot of young managers that are hungry. We know Pep is leaving. Arteta just won his first title. Xabi Alonso's coming in. We don't know what's going to happen with Liverpool with Slot. He's obviously got to prove a point. It's just whether he can match up with those guys. But so we'll see. Look, we'll talk about Carrick, whether he should get the job permanently or not. Well, for now, we talk about. Go on, sir. What are you going to say?
That's my control point. Like as in, I want more control of games, especially just so that it doesn't you get to 2-0 and you can actually sit there and rest and relax, if you get what I'm saying. But that will take away the counter attack in football. That like as in, the more control we have, the less space we have to exploit. So that we're going to lose a bit of football like in that kind of sense, just to balance it in that kind of way. So sometimes, like, maybe not give up control, but like as in, make them come out, make them be a little bit expansive, so we can get them hit them in areas where they don't want to be hit. I don't mind that, if you get what I'm saying, especially with bigger teams for next season.
Well, maybe bigger teams, but I don't want to be playing Fulham and wanting to be, because of counter attacking football, I want to be beating Fulham. I wouldn't want that. Maybe I just say so we should just sit back against Bournemouth, or I mean, sorry.
No, I'm not saying. I said, like, especially with bigger teams, but like,
bigger teams is fine.
There might be some games like so. For example, like next season, if we do get some players, if Bournemouth ball the way they do ball. To be fair, this season we didn't actually. No one had control of those games that we played against Bournemouth. Both of them were.
Yeah, but I think we even played better than Bournemouth when we played them away from home. Yeah.
If there's a footballing team like a Bournemouth that, like, as in, I wouldn't mind giving up control to win that game. If you get what I'm saying.
I wouldn't do that. I don't think, as I said, for us to get the next step, Bournemouth shouldn't be controlling the game against us. That's me personally. For where we are right now, fair enough. But it's like Man City saying they're going to win the league, and Bournemouth is dominating them. Like, Man City wouldn't have that. Man City, you should think that if you are playing the same way as a Bournemouth, as a as a Fulham, as a Brentford, whatever it is, and you have the better player, you should think you should be the one to be dominant on the ball. And you shouldn't be relying on counter-attack. Counter-attacks can be great on you still counter-attack from corner kicks and all of that without having to sit back. But I just don't think we're gonna get much excitement from that. And that's me personally. I hear what you're saying, but I just feel personally for us to take the next step, when we need to control games, especially when we're 2-0 up, we see games out. Like if Man City was to go 1-0 up, you know the next team are not getting the ball from them. It's easy for them to see the game out. And that's where we need to get to. Like us, we are fighting till the last minute to win games. That's just not on. See what I'm saying? Like just you allowing pressure on yourself, it's not on because we don't have the best of defenders in the first place. So it's just, for me personally, I don't want to see. I just want us to have better control of the game, being able to see games out when the time comes. If we're winning 1-0, if it's 2-0, moving the ball around so the opposition can't get the ball. I don't think us sitting back is going to help us get to the next set, especially when we go to the Champions League football. Champions League football, everyone plays football in Champions League. If you don't play football, you're in trouble. We're not going to get nowhere. We're going to embarrass ourselves over there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I think that's what I was thinking as well, that it can only get you so far. But if we want to get back to being the elite team, it won't work.
I'm not saying. I'm saying in certain games, like, and I feel like, like there's the recency bias in the sense of like, I'm pretty sure there were games like when in like 08, like where we didn't have as much control on games, but like as in we're just getting there, winning with the odd goal here and there, and literally just making sure we don't concede. If you get what I'm saying, innit? So like I don't think it's always about control. Like I also had control over games like for the last like 3 or 4, like well, just say for the last 2 years, let's say they've had big control over games, but it didn't get them anywhere. If you get what I'm saying, it's gotten to the place where they can win the league now.
They're an elite team. They've been an elite team while they've been controlling games.
But like the last season, they didn't get them anywhere, though, innit?
But they've been in the conversation as an elite team. You're just talking about the final line. We've always
been pushing.
While they've controlled the game.
Yeah, and if you're talking about 08, I'll be honest with you, football has changed massively since then. And that's just the honest truth. Everyone plays football now. Football has changed massively since then. Like if we're still playing football as if it was in 08, then we're in trouble.
No, it's not that. I'm just saying, like, as in terms of recency bias, like, as in people think, oh, like we're controlling all them, they were controlling all the games. I don't think they were in those kind of.
It's not going about. I know some games you're not going to be able to. I'm saying it's about the intention, going into games with the intent to control the games, and start getting used to controlling games. You don't have to control every. I'm not saying you go with every single game. More than likely, see why Man City is so successful because of the way they play, the control games. So 95% of the time, when they go into games with the players they've got, they're always gonna. You know that 95% of the chance they're gonna win the game. Because one, they're controlling it. Secondly, they've got the best players to create chances. And to get into that position, if we want to go to the next step, we have to have a lot more control of games, bro. And that's just the honest truth. I'm not saying you have to control the game for the whole 90 minutes, but we need more control. And sometimes controlling the game is not necessarily having the ball, but even when we don't have the ball, I don't think we're in control. Because Arsenal,
but don't you think that comes
relinquish the
manager?
That's the point we're talking about in terms, and that's what I was saying about the 4-3-3 under Carrick is similar to Ten Hag. It's similar to, and that's what I'm saying. How do we distinguish what something different that he's brought to the team? I honestly don't see, apart from what we say, some of the goals a bit they're more team goals than the other two managers, but we're still scoring the same counter attack of football. But if we're being honest, we need a lot more control of games. For me personally, I don't know how other United fans feel. For me personally, I just don't like it watching my team play against Fulham, Brentford, wherever it is, and then even Wolves at times. When we play Wolves at home, do you know what I'm saying? I just don't like it. I want to see us control the game a bit more. And if you're controlling the game a bit more, moving the ball around quicker, you're going to create chances. We have creative players in the team. We have players that can, if you get to the ball to them in the box, they will win penalties because they can do stuff. They can pivot easily. Like I know Ahmed hasn't had a great season, but him and Bemo, like Cunha, Bruno, even Maino when he gets into the box, these guys can be dangerous. If we're pinning the team back, and we have all these players at the edge of the box, I think we see the bets of these players there rather than them running back all the time. That's my personal view on it. And I'm for sure, unless things change next season, if you do want to get to the next step and start competing, you have to have more control games, personally, for me. Cool. Let's move on to the summer signings. Who's everyone's favorite signing this summer?
Oh boy, just sort out that midfield, bro. Just Elliot Anderson.
I'm talking about the signing that
player
last year.
No, we need.
No,
last year signing. Last year signing.
Who's your favorite summer signing?
Cunha.
For me,
Cunha.
I mean,
for me, it's keeper Lemons.
Yeah, I was going to say the same thing. For me, it's Lemons.
Yeah.
I think he's been. I think he's been sensational for not sensational. Let me not go too far, but I think he's been very, very good for his age coming into the league, and him being United's first number one goalkeeper. I think he's handled himself really well. He seems very calm, and I've only seen like 2 or 3 mistakes where I'm like, okay, do you know what I mean? And that's even very good for somebody of his age. I think he showed maturity. I think he showed calmness, and I think the defense believe in him as well. So that's why I like him as number one signing out of all of them.
You know, for me, he's not showing that he's a world beater at the stage, innit? And like he's not like anywhere elite. Like there's still some shots or saves that you want your keeper to be making that he's not making, in all honesty. But he, as you said, it's the calmness, it's the just 7 out of 10 in most games that he's played in it, and that's all you can ask for someone that's coming in the league. Like you see, like keepers coming to this league who haven't played this league before and literally get bullied, and he's literally just come in and been quite steady for us. So that's why he's my signing of the season so far.
Yeah, I agree with what you both are saying. He'll probably be my signing. As I said, I don't think he's being sensational, but I just think he's provided relief to the fan base more than anything. We've suffered, do you get what I'm saying? Over the last
we got Onana, bro.
Do you get what I'm saying? So
oh mate.
Yeah, so I think it's just a relief, like knowing that the mistakes that was happening with the other 2 keepers weren't going to happen with him. As Latif alluded to, yeah, he's made a couple mistakes at his age. To be honest, I'll be worried if he weren't making those mistakes. I would rather him start getting those mistakes out of the way now, because you get that with young defenders as well, and young goalkeepers. They are they're prone to make mistakes, especially with like keepers demanding for keepers to play out the back. You see a lot of the top keepers also have mistakes in them every now and then, but it's just the relief he's provided us at in goal, knowing that we got a keeper that will come out and try and claim the ball, will punch it out, and he's very big, and he makes good saves as well, and hopefully it continues to develop, and his trajectory hopefully moves up. So that's the plan. But for the relief that he's provided, just for that alone, he'll be my signing of the season. Ade, who's yours?
Yeah, I think I'm going Cunha as well. Obviously his attacking is him and Mbeumo, their attacks is very different, but I just like Mbeumo's got that Cunha's got that ability to just slow the game down and to get out of tight spaces. That agility, he'll just twist his ankle one way, win a foul. Yeah, I think we needed that at some very important times. So yeah, mine would be Cunha.
See, he plays with his chest up, and like that's what you need to do as a Man United player, isn't it? Like just chest up, like I've got control of this ball, like this is my ball, And that's what I love about him, innit? Like, and we need more players like that.
I think the massive difference that this season compared to the last few seasons, if you was to compare the Garnacho, the Rashford, I'm not sure what other wingers than we had, Oilen up top, is those players I just mentioned don't like playing with the back against goal. They can't hold the ball up enough. They just want to run towards goal. And the difference is these guys Mbemo, Cunha, Sesko, he starts coming, he's all right holding up the ball, but specifically Cunha and Mbemo, not only could they hold the ball up very well and can play, they're strong enough to play with the back against the goal, but with the agility that they'll also have, they can pivot and move from holding up the ball out of nowhere to beating a defender. And I don't think we saw enough of that with the other guys. The other guys just wanted to be running at players. They're more happier running at players than anything. Obviously, yes, that's what you want your attackers to do, but they have to also know how to do the dirty work as well. Learning how to hold on to the ball, pivot when you want, moving being a player without even touching the ball. And this is what these guys done well. And especially and Mbeumo's touch sometimes when they ping it to him and the way he brings the ball down, it's like is out of this world sometimes. So and I think those like little things make the difference. And on top of that, they scored goals as well. So it does help us. For the fact they scored goals, and all of them have scored more than 10 this season. I mean, scored at least 10 this season, which we've been crying out for. So massive difference, man. So what are we giving our summer signing out of 10? All of them together, or should we go through individual players?
Just seven, really. 7 out of 10 for everyone. Altogether, 7 out of 10. Yeah.
Everyone agree with that, or give them more?
Yeah, I thought it was good. I'll give it a 7 or 8. I thought it was good, especially from where we've been in terms of goals scored. I thought it was a good summer.
Yeah, I agree. All I wanted was more goals. I felt like we can concede, but if we can score goals, I thought we will be in a good position this season, and that's exactly what we've done.
Yeah, I would give Lemon's probably a bit high, maybe like 7.5 or 8 from him coming from a different league and settling in well. Cunha and Mbeumo have been great as well, 7.5. And I think I have to give 7.5 for Sesko as well, just because he's coming from another league. And we didn't know what he was going to be. We knew he had ability, but he seems to, it took him a little bit of time, but he's gotten up there. He's gone up to speed as time's gone on in it. And I think it's helped us out to obviously achieve what we wanted to achieve this season.
Cool. In terms of like player awards, who would be you guys' player of the season?
Is that a question?
So someone might be different though.
It's gonna sound biased now, like.
No, I'm talking about United player of the season, not like player of the season.
Oh, player of the season. Not Bruno. There's no other than Bruno.
It's unanimous, man. I'm not even gonna.
It's an easy one.
That's Bruno straight.
Yeah. What I will touch on Bruno a bit more in a second. Just on a couple players like Lenny Yoro. Where we at with Lenny Yoro? Like this is his second season now.
It's got a long way to go.
It's still
Why is that funny?
No, bro, no. What are you gonna say to that?
No, I'm saying like, as in, he has got a long way to go, but I'm not laughing, Max. I'm not laughing. I'm happy to give him time, though, isn't it? Like, yeah, he's coming like with a lot of weight on his shoulders. He was touted as like one of the next best thing in Europe. Quite a few people looking at him, and I feel like he's just had a rude awakening of what the Premier League is like, isn't it? And
yeah,
you have to be a good one-on-one defender, and like, as in, I feel like he can get there. But I'm willing to give him time to see how he gets there. But he does need to start learning on the job and learning quick. So he's had, like, as you said, a season and a half without the injuries.
Without the injury,
without injuries, yeah. So, like this is the time where you start showing that you are learning from it. You are getting better at covering spaces because you got the attributes in it. So that's why I'm willing to give him time.
Yeah.
I mean, you say that, Said, and I hear it. I just think, and I'm a fan of Euro. I'm a big fan of Euro, and I want to see him develop well at United. My thing is, though, is he going to get the opportunity to be able to showcase this? Do you know what I mean? I think next season going to be very pivotal for him, and I'm just trying to see where is he going to get the game time, because I don't see him in the starting back four next season. I think he's going to be like a rotational option.
Yeah, I think
he
if
can
we
play
go
as well.
Champions League football, it will get games next season. We've got a lot of games next season, so it will get games.
No, he will get games. What he's saying is starting lineup. Where big game is Euro going to be starting? No.
Yeah.
But easy, like, it's just like any player, though. Like they can play their way in, like especially like based on form, based on like what they're like. If he comes out and shows, because as I said, he's probably attributes wise one like a very good profile for a defender that we need. Someone that's quick, someone that's strongish, someone that obviously needs to be able to read the game better. But his profile is really good, so he can play his way as long as he shows that he can learn and show like he's understanding what the Premier League's about and whatnot. Then why not?
Yeah. But do you see next season as the pivotal season for him to really showcase? Like, are you going to give him one more season, or are you saying, okay, let's give him like two more seasons?
I'm looking at like we've got Heaven and we've got him as well. Like I wouldn't mind just waiting for them to be the future United centre backs, if you get what I'm saying, innit? That's what I'm seeing it from, innit?
Yeah.
So yeah,
I don't disagree with you, so I wouldn't mind waiting. But for me personally, if I'm to give you like an honest review about Euro, it just hasn't been good enough. It hasn't been good enough for me personally. It's just we talk about his attributes, like he's supposed to be fast, quick, and he's supposed to be strong. All those attributes hasn't even come to light. Like for me personally, I just don't think he's been good enough. But he's a young player, so we just have to give him time. I just thought I'll be seeing some sort of promise now, but I don't think maybe I'm wrong. Maybe anyone else here has seen a bit more promise than me. But I just look at it now is that it's just a do or die defender, and I thought it was a bit more than that. It's just more like it's there to slide tackle, like last stage tackles. I honestly thought we'll be doing better. And what more disappointing for me is that it's not so much that I'm seeing like this bad form. I just haven't seen much improvement. That's what's disappointing me. You think like the more games he gets, you see a bit of improvement but I'm not seeing it. And I just hope next season he starts to do that. I just think it's not so much as his physical attributes. He needs to start reading the game a lot better. He needs to stop. He should pick his battle wisely as well. So you know what I'm saying? Sometimes you're getting bullied by strikers when you shouldn't be getting bullied by them. You're backing off. Like it kind of like he's doing a Van Dijk without earning his strap to do a Van Dijk in a sense, where he doesn't want to get dirty when players are taking him on. He's giving them so much space for them to shoot, like just those little things, or for them to cross. He needs to do a lot more for me. And next season, hopefully, like we bought him for a lot of money, so we have to obviously spend a lot of time on him. Hopefully he improves it. And if it doesn't within the next couple of seasons, then we need to start having conversations. No point keeping a player because he's got promise. We've done that, as I said, we've done that over the years with a lot of players that's got promise. But hopefully next season it starts to improve. Adi, what's your thoughts on him?
Yeah, I just think the expectations were too high when we got him. Because obviously when we got him, there was talk about he should be starting, he should be this. And I was like, why? I was like, we've translated the cost that what we spent on him into ability. And when he joined, I was thinking, why should he be starting? This boy is here to develop. The reason we spent so much money was because he was coming to the end of his contract. If he had stayed at his club, he'd have gone to Real Madrid for free. That's the only reason why we spent as much as we did. So I do think he's still, like, he's got gaps in his game, 100%. But I also think he's definitely in a position where he can be a squad player and hopefully learn off the players that we have and show us something over the next couple of seasons. And if he doesn't, we end up buying more centre-backs, and I guess his United career is done. It's just the reality of it. So hopefully he develops as we desire over the next couple of years. And yeah, this conversation, we'll look back at it and laugh at it. So we'll see. I
hope so, man. I think everyone here wants him to do well. I don't think no one's here looking at Euros like, oh, you're a bad player. Everyone wants to do well. But we've, as I said, over the years, we spent so much time giving young players opportunities that we bank on like what the potential is going to be, what they're going to potentially can give us in the future, that we're failing to realize what they're providing for us right now, whether they're actually developing. I can go on and on about names that we've done that with. So next couple of years is big for him.
Yeah, someone shout Rio to go and give him some one-on-one training, just mold him in his stead, isn't it? That's what he's
just a couple players we're going to touch on. What's we going? What's you guys' thoughts on Dogu's development this season? Is he a winger? Is he a left back? Because we bought him as a left back or wing back. So now all of a sudden, I know people are not all of a sudden claiming that he's a winger. So what are your thoughts on his development this season?
I feel that's down to that's down to the manager, because obviously we didn't buy him as a left winger. He's never played with left wing before. Do you know what I mean? All of a sudden, like he has some great performance in left wing, and all of a sudden now, I think we got a left winger now. I got a lot of people telling me, he's a left winger now. Tell you left winger. Amorim is this. They're even cussing Amorim that. I'm like, he's never played left wing in his life. But look, I don't want to. I just if he's gonna play left wing, I just hope the manager gets the best out of him there, and he keeps on giving those performances back, because he's not a left winger. But if we're gonna play with a manager that is gonna play him there, and he's getting the best out of him like he got out of him while he was fit, then I have no problem with that. But he's not a left winger. That's my take anyway.
Yeah, well, personally, I think he's an option at the left wing, because I didn't like him at left back. So if he's going to play left wing and he's going to do well, then he might be our sub winger, because at left back he didn't excite me. I'm not going to lie. But I'm not going to forget.
He's not really good at tackling, is he?
Yeah, but bro, and it's the intention. Like, the one thing I always used to complain to Tommy about is the intention to go forward. Like when he's at left back, that intention to go forward wasn't there from him. Maybe because he's already there, he seems to be doing it. But outside of that, I don't see him as a starter in my team. In all honesty, if you ask me to pick whether left back, left wing, he doesn't start for me. He doesn't start for me. I'm not gonna lie.
I agree with Eddie. I think he's
manager. Cool.
No, go on, say Eddie. What did you say?
Yeah, no, I was just saying, if he does well for the manager and whatever position he puts in him, cool. But default position, he doesn't start for me in either position.
Yeah, I agree. I fully agree. I think people are getting carried away with the whole left wing situation. We didn't see enough of him. He got injured from the Arsenal game. We didn't see him for 10 weeks, and then obviously he's only just come back from an injury. We haven't seen nowhere near enough. And for me, the vibes I get from Dogu is like, he seems to be very instinctive. It's not like a lot of it is like natural attribute wise, like he knows what he's doing. A lot of the time, I think a lot of the time it seems to be very instinctive, reactive, kind of thing. So I just don't know where he would fit in. I think Carrick might use him as somebody who would have the defensive duties of a left winger in a big game, and probably just kind of like that Park Ji-sung kind of player in a way. Do you know what I mean? You look at him as like, oh yeah, you fit in this specific game. This is your game. Go and make it work for you. Go and win the game for us at left wing or something like that. Like, do your job up and down the wing, but not as a real starting left winger for Man United. I definitely don't see it. And as a left back, no, not for me.
Yeah, great shout. Park Ji-sung. Yeah, he can be that. He can be that. That's a great shout. What are you saying, Si?
Yeah, no, like, as in, when I think of him, the other player that I thought like more, he could turn into someone like Valencia before he became a solid right back, if you get what I'm saying.
Oh, that's another great shout.
Where you can just teach them, like, literally, this is all you need to do. Like, this is a position you get into, this is all you need to do, kind of thing, and it just kind of more than that kind of way. But yeah, like, as in, obviously, as you said, he's not going to be the starter for where we want to get to, but I feel like there can be a player in there. Yeah, he's definitely got a good engine. Yeah, defensively he's not great, and like the spaces that he leaves in terms of between the defenders, and then just not getting tight to a man and being able to get beaten as well. He's definitely going to be a left back, but he can be an option there, isn't it? So sure, if you don't get so we need to get a fullback this season. We can come into that, but if we don't get a left back next season, Shaw's not going to play all the games. So like, let's just see. Like he could fill in there, and it seems like he's gonna play left wing. I think your question was like, what do you think of the development? Obviously, from where he started to where he is now, before he got injured, it was a great jump in it. It looks like there was a big a step up, being able to play in a different position, but it might just be the instructions that he's got, because he where he was helping out as Steve to allude to, like where he's helping out to defend from left wing, he can do that, but like obviously he can't be the main left back. So maybe it's the instruction he's got that kind of helped him in that kind of light. So yeah.
Cool. All right, look, we don't have much time, so let's just quickly jump on to like Bruno quickly, because there was another player I wanted to touch on, but we're going to leave that for now. Player of the season is what the writers player of the season. Do you think would you agree? Do you think it's fair for him to win it? And in terms of like PFA player of the season, I know these are voted by players, but would you argue against him being player of the season? For me personally, I think I'll give it to him. And if you don't give it to him, the only other person I give it to, for me, I know people say Declan Rice. I won't give it to Declan Rice. I'll probably give it to Gabriel ahead of Declan Rice. But for me, I think I'll give it to Bruno. What are you guys' thoughts on Bruno?
I think he's in the discussion. I personally wouldn't give it to him, but I think he's a valid discussion.
Who would you give it to?
I'll probably Gabriel, or I could probably give it to Igor Thiago.
Okay.
I don't know. Do you know? I'll give it to Bruno Silva, Bernardo Silva. Like, if you're talking about like someone that just understands the game, can play in many different positions. As small as he is, he still can compete in midfield with most. If you get what I'm saying, I don't know why he's not being spoken about, and it's like a lot more. But I think that's who I'd give it to, in honesty.
So you wouldn't give it to Bruno as well, yeah?
Yeah, me is Bruno, and then right next to him is Gabriel still.
Atif?
Yeah, I think Bruno heads the way. I think nobody's really mentioned him. I'll probably get laughed at this, but his goalkeepers don't normally win it. But I was going to say David Raya.
Yeah. That's not a bad shout anyway. I think Raya's not bad. I think, I'll be honest with you, people, as you said, we just don't give it to keepers, but I know there's been a lot of noise around Declan, but I think the players that we mentioned here, I'll give it to them ahead of like Declan, even if it's not Bruno. Before we just got 3 more topics. We got Carrick, permanent manager or not, then we got signings and an expectation next season. We just go around in terms of like giving Carrick the job or not. Would you give him the job? And if yes, if no, just a reason why. Sai, we'll start with you.
If you couldn't get Emery, if you couldn't get Luis Enrique, then I'll give it to the guy.
Atif?
I would put him in a pool of like a short list of 3 to interview. I think he's deserved an interview. I don't believe he's deserved the job for me. So I would say no, depending on the people that I would put in there. I would still probably take Iraola ahead of him, and Emery as well. So I'm going to say no.
Max?
It's no for me as well, because look, this is Man United, and we know how pressurizing this job is. So now that it's overachieved as well, is even worse, because why? We're gonna be expecting a loan next season. So I would have said no, but we know what, nice honeymoon and see you later. But and another thing is a yes man. So I don't really want it. I don't like these owners. I don't like Radcliffe. I don't like Jason Walker. I don't like all of them guys. And then now we got yes man. So there, don't let me make it long. Go on, Adi.
Yeah, I'm just on the borderline because I've given up on managers for a while now. I don't know where we're going, where we're coming from. The problem with Carrick is the job he's done suggests he gets the job, but then I wouldn't even know what direction to go in. We've made so many mistakes that I'm just tired. I'll just go with the flow.
But I don't want to ask him for sacking in 2 months when things start not going well at the beginning, and because he has got credit in the bank, that's what we're going to be asking for.
I don't even know. Even Amorim, I didn't say sacking because I don't know. I've given up.
Yeah.
So I'm just going with the
No, Ade, what I'm saying is because he hasn't won stuff before anywhere else. Yeah. If it goes wrong in the first 2 months, we're going to be asking him to go. This is the problem that I'm thinking that.
Yeah.
Totally agree. But on the flip side of that now, a lot of these managers that we're seeing do big stuff, a lot of them are new as well. So you don't, it's hard.
Yeah.
I think the jumping for him is massive though, Ade. I'm not gonna lie. I think the results has been
100%
in the way. I just think when it's time to really, I think at some point it's like I don't even want to say this, but what happens if we go through a lot of rut? I don't see him having a tactical, especially that coaching team. He needs to go get like I'm not confident in that coaching team
and
at
it's
all.
pressure.
I think it's
man.
It's pressure that shows you real life because now
Yeah.
on all these points, but it's when you've got a bad run. Then in the interviews you'll be doing
Oh man.
Yeah. No, I think I'm just with like if there's better managers out there, but then to caveat to that, Ade's point, like a lot of these managers that are doing well, they didn't have like extensive experience as well. So you just at this time you just never know. But for me personally, I'll say no because I do think there are better managers out there, and I'll prefer better managers that tactically that we've seen them perform. Like I think Michael Carrick hasn't shown me enough tactically for me to say, oh yeah, we should give him the job. Like the results have been great, but for me, I like to look beyond that. I like to look in detail of like the games that we played, the teams that we played, how we played against these teams. And I don't think is enough for me, man, honestly. But look, I'm not begrudging. If they give him the job, I'm not going to start shouting Carrick out. I'm like, day one, nah. Not at all. I think Carrick's caveat, I mean, the reason why I'll never say anything about sacking Carrick compared to when Oli was given the job is Carrick is one of my favorite players. So I love Carrick. I'm not going to say anything about him. I'm obviously just going to watch it play out and see how it goes. I really hope it goes well, man, because I love Michael Carrick, man. I really hope it goes well. But while there's better managers out there, I'm not too sure, man. I'm not too sure.
I just think they've got to back him with all the players that the good players that don't even try and hassle about with any of these decent players. Go and get him the players that is needed, the quality. I think the quality is going to be telling Tony. I think that's what it is. Don't get him the quality. I see it being a massive mistake if we don't get the quality.
All right, cool. Look, let's just on that segue into the next point. Will be signings and leavers, Max, because you might leave soon. How many players do you think we need in the summer? And what positions are you looking at?
We need to fix the midfield. So at least we need, I say, like focus on midfield. Like get like 3 players in. Honestly, if we really seriously want to like start challenging for Prem, honestly, you gotta get 3 players in.
3 players in total, or just 3 midfielders?
No, not in that midfield, because you know what? We can't, bro. Casemiro's gone. Do you know what I mean?
No, I get what you mean. I meant how many players do we need to improve the squad?
Oh, in total, at least 5. At least 5.
Okay.
3 midfield. I think we need a left back. Do you know what I mean? Because obviously you're not going to rely on Shaw, and I think strike force will be all right. I think we can be all right next season if we can battle that midfield out and start doing. Sometimes we need to start doing what the Arsenal are doing, bro, where you just have to break down. Do you know what I mean? Because like if we can bring in some monsters in that midfield, we're gonna win a lot of games. Do you know what I mean? Because I feel like our attack is okay. Sesko is gonna be better next season. I can tell you that now. I'm telling you. But with Cunha, with this guy, just concentrate on that midfield and get left back. Because forget about Dogu, forget about Luke Shaw, bro. Next season. You know what I mean? So yeah. And then one more position could be. I don't, because let's give Euro a chance. So maybe a right back as well. Because I don't know. Can we fully trust Dallo like that? I don't know.
Yeah.
No, exactly. So like, right back and left back and so Adam too, and we're good. I think we'll be good. Do you know what I mean? But proper names though. Don't go start because this Ratcliffe, I can't trust them. So don't go, the names, the proper name. We want the Anderson, the Tonali, we want the Wharton, we want the, you know what I mean? We want the Belabor, we want to be hearing names like that you're expecting. Don't go China and start bringing players in, you know, bro. So this is what we're saying, man. Hopefully, man. Hopefully, guys, bro. Hopefully. Yeah. I want a good season, man.
I could start off. I think for me, I can't lie to you, I think we need 7 at least, bro. That's me personally. I think we need 7 at least. I think we need, if Zirkzee obviously going to go, we need another striker, replace Zirkzee. We need another, is it left winger? Yeah, we need another left winger because Cunha is currently playing there, but we need someone else there. I think we need 3 centre midfielders, bro. I honestly think we need 3 because not just to replace Casemiro, I want a competitive centre midfielder that's going to compete with Maino. I don't want Maino to think that his position is safe at all. I don't like that. Do you know what I mean? I don't want him to think his position is safe. I want that's going to compete with him. And then maybe a young one that we can possibly put in that can develop as well, that can also play. So 3. I think we need, so that's 5 years. I think we need another centre back. And then what I don't know is we need to either get a right back or left back. One of them, see what I'm saying? We've spent money on left back for the last few years. Do we give Dogu a chance and now spend money on right backs? Because you hardly spend enough on right backs. So I think we've only really bought what's the Moroccan right back called again? Mazraoui on the look for. And Dallo's just been getting away with murder in that position. I'll be honest with you. He has been getting away with murder. Like, I honestly do think if we can do both, let's do both. Because I honestly don't want to start the next season with Luke Shaw or Dogu on the left.
Yeah.
And I also don't want to start with Dallo as well. But I just feel like because we've invested so much on the left back position, we need to invest on the right back, man. Because I'll be honest, Dallo's getting away with murder, bro. I'm sick and tired of him. It's not a bad player, but I just think he's a good backup. He just shouldn't be starting for us.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, it should be a backup.
Yeah, it should be a backup. It should be. So those are my
more than half a team there, bro.
7 players. Yeah, 7 players. I think we don't need 7.
We've got 0 depth on that team.
We don't have no depth. We need 7 players.
No depth.
Bro, do you know the nice thing is like, so in that as well, you're still keeping the Ugarte. So
I'm getting rid of Ugarte. Ugarte's gone, bro. What are you talking about? I didn't think I needed to spell that out.
No. Don't need right. We get 2 midfielders, Kobe and
bro, I have to apologize to Ade for even talking about that guy a few years ago, bro. Honestly, forget that guy, man. Forget that guy, bro. He's
done. Say again?
Huh?
That was leave us light midfield. That means we only have 5 midfielders, isn't it?
If you get 3 centre midfielders and Ugarte leaves and Thingy leaves, so we have the 3 new ones, then we have Bruno, then we have Maino, and we have Mount.
And we bring youngsters in to play the
exactly. And the thing is, we have to promote some of these youngsters because wasn't Shane Lacey? We've got to be promoted. Yeah. Give him a chance. If not, send them along. Don't keep playing them. Then you see what I'm saying. And then thingy, I think JJ Gabriel. I think they're gonna promote him. I honestly think they will.
Yeah, they have to. I think so.
We can just utilize them the same way Arsenal utilize Down in the season. If see what I'm saying, every now and Max Dowman, the season, and then I think he can probably still do 1 more year under 18s. But what's his name? God, the central midfielder. Oh, it's a bad player. Huh? No, not Cornet. This young English. Huh?
What,
No, the
Ajayi?
central midfielder. So Ajayi's can go on loan, but the central
Is it the one that
midfielder,
we bought from in January? The Colombian guy.
Huh?
Is it the Colombian guy?
No. It's English.
Oh, okay.
No, it's bad boy midfielder. So
Is it
him, he can probably stay.
something, Heroes or
Yeah.
something? Like
Yeah. So he can probably say one, but we promote some players as well. So yeah, we can still got youngsters that we can promote that can play games as well on top of that. But we don't have enough depth, and I think that's what separates us. Like as much as Liverpool's had a bad season, Chelsea's had a bad season, they've still got a better squad than us. That's my personal opinion. I think they have a better depth of players than us. I think we're just fortunate that we're not playing tournament football and we were playing one game a week. Even though we was playing one game a week, look how slow our game is sometimes.
Yeah.
But we play at walking pace, and it's not enough because there's no one to come off the bench to compete. Like, you know what I'm saying, if these guys are playing at walking pace, who comes on we don't have enough quality to come on. So for me personally, 7 at minimum. 7. What about you, Ade?
Yeah, I do think we need 6 or 7 because if you give me the option, I'll buy a new striker to provide competition. But if we don't get one, it's not the end of the world. We've got good forwards. Midfield, probably, 3. I want new left back, new right back because those positions are not joke positions.
Yeah.
Like your left back and your right back should be doing big things for you. And ours, they just don't. So I'll take 2. One of each side. And I do think another centre back because I know it won't happen all the time, but that time that Martinez got the red card, Maguire,
yeah.
all of a sudden we're down to the bare bone. We're down to the bare bone.
Even regardless that, I still think we need another solid centre backs. Yeah, I honestly, and I feel like we could have just signed. I don't know how Spurs is imposed to sign Senesi for free.
Yeah,
how does that
crazy.
happen?
That is crazy.
Like that's it's a free signing you could have quickly signed and focus on something else.
And he's going to Spurs.
And you know how good the guy has been this season.
I don't know what the recruitment team are doing. That's easy work.
I don't understand that, bro. But
connection probably connection or Zerbi.
God is with them. They'll
Latif, what about you?
Yeah, I would say 6. I definitely want 3 midfielders. Left back, right back, centre back. I think you guys touched on the centre back issue, but I think as well the injuries as well. I think Martinez, I just don't see him being fit for a whole season. I think what's happened with De Ligt is just I don't know if he's going to even come back the same. So I want a centre back to come straight back in there, like to be starting for us, whether on the right side or the left side, one of them anyway. That's what I want.
Yeah, because we need a solid centre back, so we don't need to give Maguire another contract. This contract has got now should be his last. Because if you bring someone in that is solid, which we wouldn't need to, if you bring someone that's solid and Euro and Evan develop how we hope they can develop into, then there should be no need to give him another contract after this, because we can't keep just carrying these players along just because we can't get anyone better. Surely we can get better out there than Maguire now. Sai?
Yeah, I'd say 6. Obviously, I think synonymous. Everyone's saying 3 midfielders. We definitely don't need those 3 midfielders. No negotiation about that whatsoever. I still think we need a striker just to add back up, especially with the amount of games we're going to play. And again, if Tesco's been injured this season, there's no telling he won't get injured. But when he does get injured, then our attack looks like, we don't have much options off the bench. I've said a winger, left winger more so, but just to provide competition for Cunha. And so basically someone that's solid at what they're doing as well. So if Cunha is more knowing how to use his body and whatnot, then it's a shame. But someone like a Rashford who can literally make the runs all the time, so that people can find him. Someone like that kind of profile and whatnot to provide competition for Cunha, to give a different option as well. And then a centre back, no, a full back, I would say. Either a fullback or centre back, because we definitely need some competition at the back. I'm saying either centre back or fullback because it does seem unlikely we're going to get 7 players. We still need to do things step by step. If you can get a fullback and a centre back, great, but I don't think they would. They're not going to prioritise that. I don't think having both of those positions. So they're my 6.
Cool. Let's just say we do. Like, give us a big name that should be number 1 on our list for everyone.
Elliot Anderson.
The more I thought about it, like I said, Elliot Anderson can do the 6 and the 8 in it. So, like as you're saying, like you want someone to provide competition for Kobe. If Kobe's having an off day, slap Anderson in there. And to be fair, like we said this already, I don't see him as much as an 8, but Tchouameni, like I see him more as a 6 and an 8. But like as in, he can do a job in there. But I really like the idea of Tchouameni. I'm not sure how it will work in the Premier League, but Tchouameni as well.
Yeah.
I'm putting in there.
Yeah, I say Elliot Anderson because I just think he's throwback of what a United midfielder would look like. Just gives me the Roy Keane, Brian Robson kind of. Well, I didn't really watch Brian Robson, but when you hear what Brian Robson is about, and obviously watching Roy Keane, and that he just gives me that kind of vibe. And I think his game is just elevating. It's just taking off to that level. Do you know what I mean? Of he's gone up the gears now. So and I hope this World Cup he really shows what he's really made of because he's been great all season. I still think he's got gears to go up to as well. So I think for us, he's really that statement signing that we need at midfield. But if we don't get it, there's alternatives. But
do you know what? Like, so obviously Man City are in for him as well, and that will bring like some sort of like the only thing we can do is try and offer more money than Man City offer for the player, isn't it? Because if it's offering the same money, then like as in you will think that you'll probably go to Man City. Would you feel like we should be held to ransom for him, or should we, like, if it gets past, what's a number that you would say that we have to move on from thinking about signing him?
I'll be honest, I don't care. I'll do whatever we can.
500 million.
I'll do whatever we can.
500 million.
I'll do whatever we can. If we have to break the transfer record, break the transfer record. I'll do whatever we can to get him. Like I can't lie to you, I'm sold with him. Like there's no one that can convince me. I tried to at the beginning of the season when me and Ade was talking, I was reasoning saying, no, maybe Baleba this. But the more I watch that guy, I can't lie to you, Si. He's a special boy. I can't lie to you.
But even if you get him, like, I still feel we need like a physical presence in there anyway.
We can add more. We can always add more. I'm not saying you shouldn't add more, but if you're asking me, make sure you try absolutely everything to get him. The good thing now for us is that at least we're not competing against Pep. It's hard to compete against Pep.
Yeah, fair enough.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm not saying he'll still come to us, but now Man City's pitch to him is going to be different. Like, you saying like as in, so you're rather like blow the budget with him and then like probably pick up a Fernandes and João Gomez from. We can start with. I think we can start small because there's players that we can get quick straight away. Like if West Ham gets relegated, we can quickly pick Fernandes up for maybe 30, 35 just to secure someone anyway, because you know we're going to need more. Or maybe Ederson in Atlanta, he's got a release clause, so that's another 35, 40 million, whatever it is. Those players that are cheap, you can secure someone. So it's easier for you to negotiate when it comes to Elliot Anderson, so they don't hold you for ransom, because the longer that keeps going on, you don't bring someone in, is messing up our plans. So you can always secure those other guys quickly. And if anything, by securing over that guy, the other guys, one of the other guys, it helps us more in the negotiation table. So at least we know we're not desperate for it. We're still ready to start the season with one of the other guys. For me personally, that's what I think. I think those other guys are ready. One has a release clause. The second one will more likely go if West Ham gets relegated.
I just think it's a bit of a touchy situation, because like if you know you're going to really go all out for him, then you do need to make sure you do get the players that are have a smaller budget. But obviously we're looking like as I said, like if you get Anderson, you still hope that we can go for like Baleba and something like that. I mean, he's probably going to be like 60 million or 70 million, let's say 60 million, let's say. So like you just need to kind of be careful of how we're like how they're spending.
Yeah.
I think it's yeah. I think you're right, Say, but in a way, everyone's going to be looking at whatever transfers you do anyway. So you spend X amount on Belabor, then they're going to say, "Oh, Anderson's worth this much," or you're going to say, "Spend X amount on Anderson," then they're going to say, "This person is this much anyway." So I think everyone's going to raise their transfer prices this season when they see one big signing go. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So,
And I think it's just going to be a domino effect. It depends, innit? You sign that person. We all know the midfielders that are in the pool. Do you know what I'm saying? And I think if you ask me, let's just name the midfielders. We've got Talani, Anderson, Belabor, Walton. That's if Walton goes. They're going to try and price him out, I reckon. And then we have what? Edison, we said. Then we have Fernandes.
true,
I think if you're talking, for me personally, if you're talking about the true qualities, two top quality midfielders there, for me will be Anderson and Talani. I don't know what you guys will think, but those are the one for me. I do think those are the top two there in terms of like they can do what we want them to do. And if those two goals, then they're all good players regardless. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying they're not good players. It would just be down to the manager. But I think if we don't get Anderson, I do think we should try Talani.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Hopefully he doesn't come and start placing bets. So but he's if he's all cleared, and I think that will be my backup too. But the physicality that Anderson shows, I'm not sure Talani possesses the same. But in terms of the quality Talani has on the ball, and he obviously has a lot of energy as well, don't get me wrong. But I really just love Paul's, by the way. Anderson's full package, like you know what I'm saying? It's got he covers the whole pitch. Then on top of that, when he has his ball, he's got so much quality on the ball. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, look how he was whipping balls in. If you're talking about begging, like putting on a display for someone that wants to sign you, look what he did to us with the balls that he was. The balls were like who puts those kind of balls in? Like the balls that he put on when they scored against us is just that's my player, man. But I don't want to basically stop talking about it. But just on one last one before we close off, what's more important, right back or left back? If we can only get one,
Right back.
What do you say, Latif?
I want to say, I don't think left back for me. I just think Shaw is not going to be able to even mount up to the amount of games. I think he's not even going to be able to feature much next season. That's for me personally. I'll go left back.
Sam?
Left back. Like Shaw's not playing all the games next season. Like he's not gonna. He's definitely not doing that. So yeah, we need left back.
Nah, I got right back, man. I just think them guys are getting away with murder, man. We keep for too long. Every summer we keep buying a new left back. Like I'm not, and then if we're gonna spend money on Dogu, then we bought Diego Leon. But if we're not even gonna give them opportunities and just buy someone else, what's the point? You know what I'm saying? Like if we have money to get the two, but these guys that are right back, they're getting away with murder. That's just my personal opinion, bro. I honestly feel like they are, bro. Like, and every season we go into the season with the same guys. Like, at least let's try.
They are, but my point is, like, as in, like Diego and Mazraoui add height to the defense. Like I'd rather we've talked about Dogu defending, innit? Like, yeah, like as in. I would rather like get someone to push Shaw, and also like, when he's going to be injured, because it's inevitable he's going to be injured next season at some stage or not going to be available, to have someone that's competent to do a job. And I feel like they can get to a level where they're competent to do a job at right back, whereas we need someone to fill in when Luke Shaw.
I think we're right back. We got Dogu there, we got Diego Leon. They should want to promote him from like on the 21 next year. On top of that, we got Ari Hamas that's coming back from his loan spell. Whether you're going to sell him or not, how many more left back are we going to keep spending?
Like what Martinez at left back as well.
Exactly, Martinez. Like how many? You know what I'm saying? There's so many options there. We don't. we're not sport wheel options on the right. We only have those two guys, and if they don't do well, which a lot of the times they don't perform to the level, what do we do? So yeah,
Martinez at left back, we're picking up red cards anyhow, bro. This,
We pick up red cards anywhere, so it's cool.
exactly. Yeah. All right. Cool. Just last point before we jump off. I think we've been on for long. Expectation for next season. I said season, but season. What are you guys expecting next season? Or you just does it depend on the signings or what? What is your expectation?
My expectation right off the bat is top 4. That's my expectation right off the bat. We need to consolidate our position, hopefully from better football and controlling games more. But we need to consolidate. I'm not disillusioned. I'm thinking we're there yet. We need to consolidate. So if we can aim for top 4 and just control games a bit more, I will think we're going in the right direction.
When you said expectation as in if you don't get it, you're kind of pissed. Top 4.
Well, that's my expectations. I might not be pissed, but that's my expectation. Ultimately, the league is hard. So there's no longer these are the only teams that can finish in the top 4, but my expectation is that they should go for it. That's what we should go for.
Yeah. Now, I think we were touching on this anyway, like there is no divine right that any one of us is going to get top 4 or any of the big teams that we mentioned. Because people were saying how, I think, what did you say? Something about if Xabi Alonso don't get top 4, it's not. It will show you
teams in this league.
And exactly what you're saying as well. I was saying there's too many good teams in this league. But for us, personally, I think you're right. We need to consolidate top 4. Like for over the last few years, whenever we've done any good, we've always gone back. For once, we at least need to stay, whether stay still or small improvement somewhere. Do you get what I mean? So, and we scored more goals than we did last few seasons. Keep that the same or score more. Defensively, we should hope we can't get any worse, but improve on that. Do you know what I'm saying? We need to improve on those things and try and improve on the points if you can. Improve on the points. If you ever get into a position where we can compete, because I was saying as well that the points that's going to win the league this year is 85 points, right? The one at 82, really, because they haven't even played the last game. This is that points I was winning the league during Fergie days. We're so accustomed to the Klopp and Thingy winning at like 90 plus points, you know what I'm saying? If we're finishing the league at 65 and we want to improve, we're at 60, so I can't remember what we're at now, 65 I think we're at now. We want to improve. If they're winning the league again at 80 something, I mean at 82, then you should be aiming to get like 70 something. But that's not the expectation for me, but I'm just saying that you should hope that that's what the team should be doing. But my expectation is top 4 for next season. And as Ade said, it's going to be hard because the league is not easy. You're playing everyone that you go against. From when a team that hasn't been in the league for how many years come into the league for the first season, Sunderland are spending 100 plus million. It shows you how hard this league is. When was the last time Sunderland's been in the league and they're spending 100 plus million? And what guarantee they may not spend the same money again or even more? So like you're not getting that anywhere else in any other league. Do you know what I'm saying? You already get the top teams in this big top 5 league spending that kind of money. I was like, how much did Inter Milan spend this summer? I don't think they spend as much as Sunderland. So it's a tough league. But for me, hopefully, top 4. That's what I'm praying for. But try to improve on the points tally and show something. If the league standard is the same as this season, basically. If the league standard has gone to 90 plus, we're nowhere near that at the moment. We're not that. But if it's still like the current state where we're talking 82, 85 points, winning the league, then show something. Show something if you can. If not, don't fool us. Just secure the top 4 and we'll take it with that. But the standards of the league if it's remained the same, which I feel like likely it might be, unless if Arsenal blows up the league next season. I already feel like I'll be surprised if we get 90 plus next season to win the Depot. Let's see. Latif and Sai, what you saying?
Yeah. My expectation of what I want are two different things. My expectation is top 6 for United next season. To not get embarrassed in the Champions League, so maybe like round of 16 or quarterfinals Champions League. Spurs make it. Where did Spurs make it? Round of 16, or did they make it quarters?
Yeah, 16. I think they went straight out to Atletico in the first round, so it'll be last 16.
If Spurs can get there, why can't we? Especially with the investment. I want a cup run. I would expect a cup run of some sort, and I feel like Carrick understands that if he manages to last the season, he would understand that. That's what the fan needs and wants. And yeah, just like some progress in terms of playing style. Like, as in, we ain't seen much, as we said, so yeah, some progress in playing style. That's what I would expect for next.
Cool. Demenji, your last one before we close off.
Yeah, I would say, like both what you and Ade mentioned, consolidating top 4 again. I think it's just important for the stability, keep the finances as well coming in, because you don't want to give these owners any excuse not to go and spend on more players. We need the quality. We need the quality. We need to keep improving. I don't even want to hear them say, "Oh yeah, we can't spend in January because we ain't got no money." Like, don't give them any excuse. So yeah, just for that stability, top 4, and then like Said mentioned, at least first knockout round in the Champions League. For me, a nice cup run would be good, but also just for me, style of play. Like, if they're giving you the players, style of play, like, it's got to be a lot better. I want us to be seeing us push up a little bit further up the pitch this season, next season, sorry, with the players, and just have a style of play where I can see repeated patterns of something going on and have something to be able to hang on to. I think I've just been deprived of all these managers going counter-attacking and, fear at the back, and it's quite negative, and we're just on the edge of our own bots. It's not good to see, man. I've had enough of that. I need to see some real progressive style of play with a bit of speed, and a bit on the front foot. And I'm going to accept sometimes we're not going to be on the front foot. Sometimes we have to negotiate that with certain big games, but just like you guys said earlier, the control in midfield and the style of play is very, very important for me next season.
Yeah, look, we'll see how we get on. I think it was nice having this therapy session with my fellow United supporters. I hope the United board is actually watching this, so take some advice from us. But look, I will be around the summer. As I said, I'm going to try and record throughout the summer. I'll try and get some of you on if you're available. So whenever we make signings, whenever there's rumors, I don't want to be a Fabricio, but I will only do something when it's concrete. I'm a David Oyston. I'm not a Fabricio. I don't like the rumors back. I just want something concrete, then we can jump on and talk about it. But thanks, people. Thanks for tuning in. Please don't forget to subscribe to the channel, click the like button, turn on your notification when we upload. I said as well, me and Adi are going to the World Cup, so we are going to do like World Cup vlogs for you guys. So you don't want to miss out. So subscribe and turn on your notifications so you know whenever we upload. Saeed, see you on Sunday. Adi, Latif, thanks for joining today. See you boys later. Take care.
Safe.
Yeah.